Hello there, Jenny. Randy here. Remember me, right? Must be 20 years ago that we last spoke.
Huh? Randy? Seriously? Is this some kind of joke? This is a prank, right? Why do you even know my line contact?
I saw your line info on my mom's phone and got it from there. Without her noticing, of course.
Don't tell me. It was at Dad's funeral last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't very well miss my dad's funeral. It's been 20 years since I stepped into that house. I really didn't expect my ex-wife to be sitting there grieving with all the rest of my relatives.
I had no idea you were there.
Yeah, well, my mom was pretty insistent about me keeping a low profile. As a matter of fact, she especially wanted me to avoid you.
I see. I guess your mom was looking out for me.
I thought you were long gone, to be honest. After all these years, you're still friendly with my folks? Doesn't make sense.
Well, they felt bad that their son took off, abandoning your child. All they did was help their granddaughter. Couldn't just abandon her like you did. They supported me all those years. Your daughter was sitting right next to me at the funeral. I guess you didn't even notice her, did you?
Oh, yeah, I missed that. But I really can't get over it. What were my folks thinking? Taking you in and supporting you? And for what, 20 years? My God! Sorry, but I can't expect a daughter that you gave birth to. Never happened. If she's anything like you, the first thing that came to my mind was that she probably doesn't look very smart. I told myself I could never bring up such a half-foot. Don't you remember my educational background? I went to the top Ivy school in the country. I'm what you call one of the elites. And what, may I ask, kind of school did you send her to? Your local community college, I bet.
Are you still going on about that? How many times have I told you that you can't just judge people by what school they went to?
I told you I didn't want a kid, and when you went against my will and had one anyway, you wouldn't even consider putting her up for adoption. That's why I divorced you.
Well, you made the right decision.
Yeah, you could say that again. So, that means she's 20, huh? Already an adult.
What's it to you anyway?
I'm just curious how she turned out. Didn't get a look at her at the funeral, but I'm sure she looks as dumb as you.
I'm going to warn you right now. No way I'm going to allow you to meet her. She has no father.
Don't worry. I have no intention whatsoever of being her father. Forget that.
Hey, Mom. Just finished celebrating my birthday with friends.
Happy birthday, Wendy! How does it feel to be out of your teens?
All the same, nothing's changed. A bunch of us are heading over to the mall. Would you mind picking me in about 2 hours at the entrance?
Okay, no problem. The main entrance on Lincoln Street, right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
What is it?
we were at the cafe celebrating my birthday, and after we finished, my friend ran into this weird guy outside. Said something to her.
A weird guy. This was just a while ago? What did he say?
Yeah, like 15 minutes ago. He asked her if her mom's name was Jenny.
Are you serious?
Yeah, guy was like in his mid-50s, dressed kind of like a bum, and smelled pretty bad. I was wondering that maybe it was Dad. Didn't he come to Grandpa's wedding last month? He sent you a line message, right? You said he was keen about my 20th birthday or something. I wonder if he stopped by to get a look at me?
Well, if the guy is in his 50s, 4 years older than me, there is a good possibility it could be him.
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Just don't be alone while at the mall until I pick you up. You got that? If by chance you run into him, just act like you don't know him and don't tell the guy your name. Do that and you'll be okay.
Yeah, got it, Mom. I'll be careful. Mom? Are you there? I think I just ran into my father.
Excuse me? You what?
Friend of mine went to the restroom and ran into this guy standing outside. The guy asked her if her mother's name was Jenny. Apparently her mom's name is Gina. I don't know, maybe she just heard wrong, but anyway, she said yes. Once this guy heard that, he started bad-mouthing her, calling her names, calling her mom a whore, and chastising the way she was dressed. Right away, I thought it was Dad, and that he was actually talking about me. So I had to step in to help her. I mean, she was on the verge of tears. I don't know if that gave me away, that he knew I was actually his daughter, but anyway, I saved my friend, and we ran into the ladies' room to get away from the guy.
Oh my god, seriously? Just glad you're okay. I'm on my way over there. Just stay there until I arrive. You got that? Where's the bathroom at?
The one right next to Starbucks. Hurry up, Mom.
Just as I thought. She looked even dumber than you. But seriously, I didn't think she would be that bad. She was dressed like some call girl on 5th Street, for God's sake. You say she just turned 20? You're not serious. Are you sure she even went to high school? Right when I was talking to her, her buddy steps in and took her away. Now, if that friend was my daughter, I could forgive you. She looked way smarter and very pretty to boot.
That girl you lambasted at the mall, that was your daughter's classmate. And that pretty girl was your daughter, you idiot.
Huh? Say again?
Yeah, the girl's mom's name is Gina. Probably misheard you or something. I mean, it's not every day that some weirdo bum accosts you at the mall.
Excuse me?
Are you dense? That was not your daughter. Mistaken identity.
Huh?
Oh, and that girl you accosted? She's a college student.
What? You're kidding.
You accosted an innocent girl in public. Do you really think you'll be forgiven for chastising a young woman in public? It's the talk of the town now. People suspect that it was you. Totally embarrassing. How could you do such a thing?
Right. I was just... I thought she was...
And another thing, my daughter is a college student now, too. Just so you know.
Oh, yeah? Well, anybody can get to college nowadays. Like I said, probably some second-rate community college. What's she majoring in? Gender studies? I mean, you gave birth to her, and at a pretty late age of that, too. Giving birth late in the game deprives them of adequate brain cells.
Actually, she's heading to the UK next semester. Cambridge. I wouldn't say it's a community college.
Excuse me? You mean Cambridge? That Cambridge? That's one of the top schools in the world. What? Do you have connections or something? How could she get in?
No connections. Actually, she wanted to go to a local art school, but changed her mind and said she wanted to go overseas and picked Cambridge University. She applied and was accepted.
Hold on 1 second. How could you even afford to send her there?
Are you talking about me paying the tuition?
Yeah, a single mom like you. A woman that happily gave up a highly educated elite like myself. How could such a loser afford to pay tuition to Cambridge, for God's sake? No way you could afford to send your daughter to a university overseas. And besides...
Let me stop you right there, Randy. You're forgetting one thing.
What are you talking about?
If you recall, I was a manager at the company I was working for back when we got divorced. You do remember that time, don't you? Or are you senile already?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Well, it's been 20 years since then. Things have changed quite a bit. I'm a successful businesswoman now.
Huh? You're not serious.
Nevertheless, Wendy didn't want to be a burden and worked part-time for years to save for tuition. I think I did a pretty good job raising my daughter. And as for your mom and dad, they really felt bad about what you did to us, leaving us high and dry, abandoning your own daughter. They supported us all these years, more than you can imagine.
But I was only trying to... Hey, Jenny, are you there? Pick up ASAP. Why aren't you here? Where the hell are you?
Excuse me?
I put aside my pride and decided to get back together with you. I brought all my stuff. I'm ready to move back in with you. So, where the hell are you?
Wait. Pardon me?
I came here to the house with all my luggage and rang the doorbell. And guess who answered the door? Big muscular dude. Tattoos up and down his arms.
Randy, I have no idea what you're blabbering about. Hold it a second. Did you go to the Village Apartments down in Riverside? That old place we used to live? Is that place still standing?
Yeah, that's right. Where do you think I would go? If you're gonna move out, give me a heads up for God's sake. Man, that was embarrassing as hell. So, where are you living now? Give me the damn address. I'll hop in a cab and get over there right away.
Hey, Randy.
Boy, oh boy, I'm gonna regret getting back together with you if you keep acting like such a doof.
I've been happily married for the past 10 years.
Pardon me?
We lived there until Wendy finished junior high. We moved after that. That was like 10 years ago. Got married soon afterwards. We bought a house and have been living there with my folks ever since.
You married some other guy? Are you serious? This was 10 years ago?
Randy, what the hell is wrong with you? I mean, you abandoned your daughter even before she was born, and I haven't heard from you in 20 years, and now you want to marry me? That's crazy! Even if I was still single, no way I would ever get back with you again. You're living in fantasy land, Randy.
Yeah, well... I was only trying to... tell you the truth. I was fired from my job.
Huh? You got fired?
Yeah. We had a new employee come in. She graduated from the same school as me, so we hit off nicely, but I suppose I pushed it a bit far. Well, to make a long story short, she accused me of stalking her.
Are you telling me that you got fired for being a stalker? You were stalking one of your company employees?
Yeah, and I got kicked out of the apartment I was living at too. I couldn't cover the rent. At this age, I'm just not able to land a good job. That was about the time Dad died, and so I figured I would get a little inheritance, but it turns out he left me out of his will. I was left with nothing. I really thought it was the end for me, but then found out you were doing very well for yourself. And so I figured you could.
Hold it right there. You were hoping I would take care of you? Is that it?
Yeah. I guess it's about right.
Oh, yeah? What happened to the super savvy Ivy League success story you're always talking about? So after all these years, you managed to become a pervert. A stalker of young women, is that it? My God, what is happening to you, Randy?
I tried to.
And about your mom, she's going to enter the senior citizen home now that her husband has passed away. All she has to do now is sell the house and just move into the home. It's all set. Which means you have no home to go back to. Is that about right?
Why? Why? Why doesn't anything go my way? I graduated from an elite Ivy League school. I was guaranteed a successful life. I had it made. What did I do that was so wrong? I deserve better than this.
I think you relied too much on which school you went to and not on your character.
Huh?
Being smart and being an honorable person, it's hard to balance the two. You really should have worked on the latter. I recommend that you work on that going forward.
Hey, come on, Jenny. Let's discuss this, huh?
If you come around here again, I'm going to get my lawyer to make you pay for Wendy's child and education support, which you neglected to pay all these years. Are you ready for that?
Please, I don't have that kind of money.
Well, if that's the case, we never want to see you again. Forever. And I mean it. Forever.
Could you at least give me some money? I can't survive without some money.
Goodbye. I later heard that Randy returned to his old apartment. Apparently, he had it until the end of the month. In order to survive, he got a job as a construction worker for the time being. I hear he's just getting by. But old habits die hard, and he kept mentioning his so-called elite background, which, as you can imagine, that kind of condescending attitude infuriated people around him. Well, he certainly lost a lot of friends with such an attitude. Actually, I'm not all that surprised. If that wasn't enough, he was sued by that girl's family, the one he berated at the mall, and ended up having to pay compensation for emotional distress he caused their young daughter. All that was in a letter he wrote to me. The letter was 5 pages long. It went on and on about how the world had victimized him. I barely got through the first page before putting it through the shredder.
Hey, Amanda. Will it be just your parents when I visit your parents' house this time? If your brother Henry will be there too, what should we bring him?
Henry lives with our parents, so I think he'll be home that day too. All 3 of them like sweets, so I think we should bring some sweets.
Oh, Henry still lives with your parents? I thought he lived alone near his workplace.
Didn't I tell you before? Henry is self-employed. That's why he works from home all the time.
Self-employed? That's amazing. What kind of work does Henry do? Which university did he go? Maybe Harvard? He must have graduated from a good university if he's running his own business at such a young age.
His job is in finance, but he didn't actually go to college.
What? He's running a company without even graduating from college? That means he's a high school graduate and self-employed. He worked so hard.
Well, actually, Henry studied at an online public high school. He stopped going to a normal high school for various reasons.
Seriously?
He was bullied at middle school. That's why it became so stressful for him to go to school. So, at first, he tried his best to go in person. But he had traumatic flashbacks and switched to an online high school. But now, he runs his own company. Isn't that really impressive?
No. Wait a minute. That's not impressive at all. Wow. Seriously? Your brother was that kind of guy?
What?
An online high school graduate living at his parents' house? That's too shitty. Seriously, it sucks that you had a brother who was such a burden. I had no idea.
Joey? Henry isn't a burden at all. Don't you think it's amazing that he's running his own business with an online high school diploma?
Huh? What's so amazing about that? Online high schools are for the bottom line students.
What? Bottom line?
And the reason he stopped going to school is lame. In short, he was a skinny little sprout who didn't fit in with the class. Or maybe he was just a creepy, geeky pig. And he's still living at his parents' house.
Hey, Joey! Don't get the wrong idea. It's not like that. And stop making fun of him.
Sorry, Amanda. Let me postpone visiting your parents. I don't feel like going there now.
What?
I thought you had a decent family. I didn't think they'd keep an online high school graduate shut-in. That's the part that turned me off.
Wait a minute. You're misunderstanding a lot of things about my brother. Henry is doing well in his own business. It was tough when he was a student, but he's enjoying his work now. Lately, he's into boxing. He spends his days off with his gym buddies and has a very fulfilling life.
I don't care what you say. I can't do it right now. I need to rethink about various things, so please, leave me alone. Until then, let's put our marriage on hold.
Put our marriage on hold? Wait, Joey. Does that mean our engagement might be off the table?
That's quite possible. I'm an elite guy who graduated from a prestigious university and now working at a major company. There's no way I'm having a brother-in-law who's an online high school graduate. My glorious career and title would be disgraced.
Huh?
Well, I'll get back to you when I come to a conclusion. Until then, don't contact me. Hey, sis. When is Joey coming to officially report our marriage? It's already been a month since it was postponed. Mom and Dad are nagging me to ask how it's going.
I'm sorry. I haven't had a chance to tell them yet. And I feel bad for making them worried. But the truth is, I still don't know what to expect. I haven't been able to get in touch with Joey lately.
Oh, really? Did you guys have a fight right before planning the visit?
No, we were just having a normal conversation. And he asked about you, Henry, what you do for a living, and your educational background. When I told him that you're self-employed and had graduated from an online high school, he suddenly decided to postpone the visit.
Oh, then that's definitely the reason. Anyone would be suspicious of an online high school graduate running his own business. He may think I'm jobless and only calls myself a home security guard.
What?
He thinks there's no way an online high school graduate shut-in can run his own business. And moreover, I still live at my parents' house. That makes it even more suspicious. He's probably in a panic and reconsidering marrying you.
But I told him that you're working hard now. And currently doing a fine job in finance. That you're actively going out on your days off, not a shut-in anymore. I explained it to him in my own way.
It doesn't matter if he doesn't believe you.
Oh no!
I'm sorry I screwed things up for you. It's true that I'm an online high school graduate and used to be a shut-in. I never meant to put you into trouble because of me.
That's not something you should apologize for. I just wish I could have explained it to him better.
If you get a chance to talk to Joey, you can tell him about my detailed job description and my annual income. Or else, he'll just continue to misunderstand me.
Oh, are you sure you're okay with that? You said you didn't want people to know about your job and income.
When people find out that you have money, troublesome people tend to get close to you. But I can't have my sister's marriage ruined because of me. He will eventually become my brother-in-law, so you can tell him about me without hiding anything.
Thank you, Henry. I'll talk things over with Joey ASAP and take him to our family house.
Amanda, I've decided not to marry you after all. I'm not going to support your jobless loser brother.
What? Joey?
Who wants a jobless brother-in-law calling himself self-employed? I'm sure he's the reason why you want to marry me anyway. You want someone to take care of him after your parents pass away. I'm not going to be the owner of such a piece of shit like him.
Hey, wait a minute. Calm down. Joey, you have it all wrong. My brother Henry is not jobless. He's working and has his own income.
You're lying. There's no way a shut-in can get a job in finance. Even if he has an income, it must be just as much as an allowance. He's probably just a small-time reseller. Or maybe he's a home security guard, and his salary comes from his parents' allowance.
No, that's not true. Please, listen to me.
Shut up. I don't care if he's really making money or not. Your brother's just a high school dropout shut-in. I don't like such weak guys.
Henry didn't become a shut-in because he wanted to. He was a cheerful boy until middle school. But it's the bully's fault for forcing him to become a shut-in. Don't you understand how it feels to be bullied?
I don't understand it at all, because I was the one bullying kids at school.
What?
Everyone has hit someone in class, right? I used to do it all the time when I was in school. We all ignored the ones we didn't like, hid their stuff, those kinds of things. I did that from elementary school all the way to college.
You have to be kidding. You were doing such awful things?
Bullying happens because the ones who are bullied have problems. Some were cocky, even though their looks were dull. Some turned down our invitations to hang out. I bet your brother became a shut-in like that.
I can't believe you. You're such a jerk. Always being mean to people for such unreasonable reasons. And that's the bullied people's fault? How can you say such a horrible thing? Who the hell do you think you are to hurt people?
Shut up, you siblings of losers. You're in no position to complain to me, an elite of a major company.
Huh?
Running away and becoming a shut-in instead of fighting back? That's what you call a loser. And you're also a loser for having a brother like that. I can't marry such a lame woman. I'll never take care of a jobless brother-in-law. I can't marry a woman who has that kind of burden.
My brother makes more than $1 million a year.
What?
Henry isn't a burden. He's rather supporting our family. Last year, he rebuilt a beautiful family house for us. He also invites us all to an overseas trip every year. He's always been kind and family-oriented, and now he has become a successful business owner. I'm so proud of my brother.
Huh? Your brother is an online high school graduate shut-in without a job. There's no way that guy's annual income is over $1 million. Your brother couldn't even make 1/10 of my $100,000 annual income.
Stop saying my brother is jobless. I told you, he's running his own business in the financial field. Henry is working as an investor now. That's why he's making more than $1 million a year now.
Huh? He's an investor worth over $1 million even though he graduated from an online high school? That's like a fairy tale.
But it's all a true story. The whole time he couldn't go to school, he was making money at home. He did a lot of remote part-time work like video editing. And he started learning how to invest, and he's been steadily adding his assets. Recently, he found a small company that had great technology, and he was supporting them.
I didn't know he was doing that much.
He will wait until the company grows to get even more profit. He says, I want to prove that even weak people and weak companies can change, and doing his best to spread his business.
So, he really makes more than $1 million a year? Even though he's an online high school graduate plus former shut-in?
Even if you're a major corporate elite, so what? Don't be so arrogant when you're losing out to my little brother in annual income. You're just a wimpy jerk who is inferior to my brother. Don't you dare make fun of him.
You think I'm a wimpy jerk?
You're a wimpy jerk who can only act big in the crowd. You can't do anything without a title. Such a person has no right to make fun of my brother. Henry made it this far all by himself. He's several times, no, hundreds of times more amazing than you.
I heard from Mom, but is it true that you guys broke up? It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry for ruining your marriage proposal.
No, it's not your fault. In fact, thank you. Because of you, I could see how much of a scum he was. You're the best brother anyone's ever had.
That's not true. But I hope you find someone better next time. Someone who won't make fun of me and who cares about you.
Of course. I'm going to go look for a new boyfriend right away. But it's hard with Joey sabotaging me.
What?
A friend of mine introduced me to a new guy earlier today. But Joey showed up at my date and was persistent in asking me to get back together with him. He's changing his attitude and raving about you now. He's also sending me so many texts.
In that case, leave it to me. I'll make sure Joey won't appear in front of you anymore.
You can do that? What on earth are you planning to do?
Well, just leave it to me. I'm just punishing him a bit for making fun of me. How dare you set me up? You're the worst siblings ever. You're a scumbag. I'll never forgive you.
Huh? What's the matter with you all of a sudden? You're the one who's the scumbag.
I'm not a scumbag. I've been brilliant since I was little. I'm athletic too. I went to a prestigious university. I'm an elite guy who works for a big company now. So, why do I have to get fired because of your brother?
Fired?
Your brother is a bottom-line online high school graduate. Shut-ins are always ugly with a moody character. Why am I getting fired because of someone like that? It's all your own fault. Don't blame it on me. Don't take it on my sister too. What? Thank you for supporting my sister in the past. I'm her brother Henry, who you hate to the core. I understand your anger at being fired from the company you're so proud of. But please don't forget, it's all because of your foolish words and actions. It's your fault for thoughtlessly bringing that stupid deal to me. What the hell? The way you changed your attitude after you found out I was making a fortune was quite funny. And you kept asking my sister to get back together with you. So miserable. I couldn't believe it when you finally contacted me directly. I work for a big company, and I have access to important information. You can make a lot of money trading stocks with that information, so help me out. Please, help me get back with your sister, is what you said. What's wrong with that? It's not a bad deal for you either, right? You win stock trades with the non-public information I have. Your sister can get married without worries. It's a deal that makes everyone happy. Are you serious? What you're trying to do is insider trading. So, I pretended to be on it, pulled out your information, put it all together, and turned you into the company. I didn't expect you to get fired so soon. You're just an online high school graduate, and you screwed me over. What's wrong with insider trading, you fucking earnest bastard? These things are okay if it's kept a secret. My classmates in middle school were like that. They pretended to be good students on the surface, but behind the adults' back, they bullied me. When I asked the teachers for help, they couldn't help me because they didn't have any proof. So I had to run away. Scumbags like you make me want to vomit. Shut up! You're a former shut-in. No matter how successful you are now, you're still a loser. You don't have a college diploma, and you don't have as many friends as I do. Remember, you're no better than me. I'm not proud of my education, but when you make millions of dollars a year, such words become meaningless. A college graduate making $100,000 a year, or an online high school graduate making millions of dollars a year. If you could choose whichever life you like, everyone would choose the latter. Well, that's for sure. I've never even met you in person, but I think I can beat you in power too. I've been working from home all my life, so I've been going to the boxing gym for exercise. I can bench press 330 pounds now, so I'm confident in my muscles. What? You're that strong and muscular? If you want to make fun of me so badly, come fight me in person. Let's not only compare each other's academic backgrounds, but let's compare each other's strengths too. I will do my best to compete with you. Oh, if you want, I can come to your house. I'll get your address from my sister. Stop! Don't come to my house with those dangerous muscles. Then, promise me you'll never go near my sister again. And don't contact me ever again. Now, if you'll excuse me. Thanks to my brother Henry, I never heard from Joey again. Rumor has it that he returned to his hometown in a hurry. But, in his hometown, one after the other, the people who Joey used to bully have succeeded. When he attended the reunion gathering, everyone ignored him. When I shared this story with Henry, he said, I did something similar at last year's class reunion. I intentionally wore a high-brand suit and watch, and drove a luxury car. I went to hang out with my online gaming friends that day.